Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will enter the world crafted in The Portrait of a Lady by Henry James. The Portrait of a Lady by Henry James, published in 1881, is a classic novel that delves into the complex lives of its characters, especially its heroine, Isabel Archer. As a young American woman visiting Europe, Isabel is confronted with freedom, love, betrayal, and the weight of choices. The novel is a study of personal growth, societal expectations, and the constraints imposed by both external and internal forces. Plot summary: Isabel Archer arrives in England, a young woman of charm and intelligence, eager to embrace life and the freedom to make her own choices. She is an orphan from Albany, New York, and her aunt, Mrs. Touchett, brings her to Europe, hoping to broaden her horizons. Upon her arrival at Gardencourt, the Touchett's estate, she meets her ailing but wise cousin Ralph and his father, Mr. Touchett. Ralph is immediately captivated by Isabel's spirited independence and idealism, and he secretly wishes to protect and support her in whatever path she chooses. Isabel also catches the attention of Lord Warburton, a wealthy nobleman who proposes to her. Though his offer is sincere, Isabel refuses, longing for something beyond a conventional marriage. Soon, Isabel inherits a large fortune from Mr. Touchett, thanks to Ralph's urging. He hopes that with money, she will have the freedom to make her own choices without being swayed by societal or financial pressures. This sudden wealth changes Isabel's prospects, drawing her further into the complex world of European society. She travels through Europe with Mrs. Touchett and is courted by Caspar Goodwood, a passionate American businessman who had admired her before she left America. But Isabel again declines a proposal, determined to remain independent and unburdened by marriage. In Florence, Isabel meets Madame Merle, a charming, sophisticated woman who quickly befriends her. Unbeknownst to Isabel, Madame Merle has hidden motives. She introduces Isabel to Gilbert Osmond, a cultured and refined man who lives in relative obscurity with his daughter, Pansy. Isabel is drawn to Osmond's intellect and taste, mistaking his reserve for depth and his aloofness for integrity. Despite warnings from Ralph and others who care for her, Isabel marries Osmond, believing that she has chosen a man worthy of her independence and fortune. However, after their marriage, Isabel begins to realize the true nature of her husband. Osmond is cold, controlling, and manipulative. He married her for her money and resents her for any expression of individuality or independence. He isolates her from her friends and family, dictating her every move and reducing her once vibrant spirit to that of a caged bird. Isabel comes to understand that Madame Merle had orchestrated her marriage to Osmond as part of a scheme. Madame Merle, it turns out, is Pansy's mother, and her relationship with Osmond is more complicated and secretive than Isabel had ever imagined. Isabel's spirit, though suppressed, is not broken. She finds solace in her visits to Gardencourt, where Ralph's health is steadily deteriorating. Ralph's genuine love and respect for Isabel stand in stark contrast to Osmond's selfishness. Isabel's struggle between duty and desire intensifies as she wrestles with her commitment to the marriage. Pansy, the innocent and obedient daughter of Osmond, is caught in the crossfire of her father's ambitions. Osmond seeks to marry Pansy off to a wealthy suitor, but Pansy's own desires are disregarded in the process. Isabel feels a strong bond with the girl, recognizing in her the same need for freedom that she once had. The turning point comes when Isabel learns that Ralph is near death. Despite Osmond's demands that she stay with him, Isabel defies her husband and rushes to Gardencourt to be with her cousin. Her decision to go against Osmond's wishes is a significant moment of reclaiming her autonomy. At Ralph's deathbed, Isabel is confronted with the weight of her choices, the marriage she entered into, and the life she could have had. Ralph, in his final moments, expresses regret that his gift of wealth led her into such an unhappy situation, but he also reassures her that her strength and character remain intact. Isabel's journey does not end with Ralph's death. Caspar Goodwood, still in love with her, arrives to plead with her to leave Osmond and return to America with him. He offers her a chance at freedom, a life where she would not be bound by her disastrous marriage. Isabel is deeply moved by his offer, recognizing that it comes from a place of genuine care. In a moment of passion, he kisses her, trying to break the chains that bind her to Osmond. For a moment, She is tempted to escape with him, to leave behind the life of suffering and submission she has endured. But in the end, Isabel chooses to return to Rome, to Osmond. Her reasons are complex, partly out of duty, partly out of her own sense of responsibility for the choices she has made. She cannot abandon Pansy to Osmond's cruelty, and she feels the weight of the commitment she entered into, no matter how misguided. Isabel's return is not one of defeat, but of a woman who has faced the harsh realities of life and must live with the consequences of her decisions. She leaves Gardencourt with a quiet dignity, carrying with her the memory of Ralph's love and the knowledge that, despite everything, her spirit remains her own. Isabel Archer's journey is one of transformation, marked by the interplay of freedom and confinement, love and betrayal. She is a woman who seeks to live on her own terms, but in doing so, discovers that the choices she makes have far-reaching consequences. In the end, she remains a tragic yet resilient figure, navigating the complexities of life with courage and grace. Hope you enjoyed that. If you want more, explore other amazing works by Henry James. You know where to find them. Check the description or Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Henry James's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.